Alright, this is going to be a quick look at the Vortex Defender flip caps, scope covers basically. And I was looking at some different options for scope covers for the scope that I'm trying to put covers on. And obviously the big one out there is, pretty cheap. It's the Butler Creek scope covers with the flip caps. There's several different types. There's the ones with the clear lens inside, they call them the Blizzard ones. And then they have just the normal flip up like this, and then they have one that has a little push button that causes the cover to flip up. But the problem that I ran into with those is that the size that I needed, and quite a few different sizes as well, ones that I didn't necessarily need, they all had kind of similar issues. The cover itself wouldn't close all the way on like half of the scope cover. It's like a manufacturing defect or something. It was kind of weird, but I noticed that on a lot of them, and I was like, well, this is just frustrating. And they're just cheap covers, really, in overall. But they had these next to them, and I'm like, you know what? For $20 instead of $10 a cover, it's like, I'll give this a try. These should be a heck of a lot better. Vortex is a really, really well-known company. They've really made a name for themselves recently. And it's also made in the USA, which is kind of cool. Actually made in Wisconsin, somewhere, yeah, Middleton, Wisconsin. So that's pretty cool, my home state. So I'm going to bust these open. They have them in packages that you can't really try them out. They are kind of, not necessarily universal, but they are flexible fit. And I know Butler Creek has some flex fit ones as well. But I think these are going to be overall 10 times better in quality. And they have an unlimited, unconditional VIP warranty, so that's kind of cool. But I'm going to bust these open. These they're right on, just barely on the edge of fitting the scope that I have. And it's on the smaller side of what they'll fit. So we'll see how it fits and how it works, and I will let you know here. I'm just going to bust them out of the boxes here. But I kind of want to keep the rifle a secret, but that is the scope. And that's pretty much all you're going to see of it for right now, because that's going to be unveiled later on down the road. So let's so out of the box, first impression, I think they are going to be excellent scope covers. I like how they lock into place. They almost lock too solidly. It's kind of, I don't know. It's a good seal. It's very, you can see there's no movement there. It's tight, and it takes a little bit of force to actually unlock these, even with it on the scope. If I can do it by hand, there we go. But it flips open pretty quickly. Now it's not all the way open there. You can have it there, or you can push it down a little further, and then it's about as low profile as you're going to get. And that's one of the things it says, ultra low profile. Now here it shows it's like all the way open or all the way closed, but it's kind of interesting that they don't really mention that there is another point where it locks there too. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, compared to like those Butler Creek ones, and yeah, you're talking about, a price difference, twice the price basically of those. These are $20, the other ones were 10. But these are just, like I said, they click in place when you close them, and they're tight. They're good. You can tell that's like so much better than the Butler Creek ones. The objective lens cover fits pretty dang well. Like I said, my scope is on the lower end of both the sizes for the eyepiece and the objective. So it just, I was kind of actually surprised that I thought it was just barely going to fit. It was going to be too loose, but this actually works really good on the objective. Now, the problem that I ran into is on the eyepiece. My particular scope has like a little rubber end where you adjust the reticle focus, which actually helps. But the problem is once you get past that point, because otherwise if you just put it on there just past that objective or the reticle focus portion, it's not on there very far, so you go to flip the cover up and it just moves the whole thing. So you gotta put it on there basically all the way until that eyepiece is right up into this plastic portion. Luckily, it fits in there all right, but it's just kind of one of those things I wasn't kind of expecting to have to put it all the way on and just past the point where it probably should be, but it does work excellent when I do that. So I'm pretty happy with them so far. Obviously, I just bought them, so I can't tell how they're going to be when they're actually in use. But and like I said, I'll show you eventually some videos and some footage, pictures, and whatnot of what the scope is on. And yeah, and of course I'll be using these. I wanted to get some covers for it because I don't want dust all over the lens of my scope for this rifle. I want to keep it as clean as possible. But yeah, man, those lock in place really good. The only thing I really don't like about these is this rubber tends to be really, really clingy, and any sort of dust, like you can already see all the dust on there. And that was just some of the packaging. Packaging is actually kind of cool. You can tear it open like this. You don't have to totally mutilate the package. But yeah, man, it's just kind of weird. It got a little bit of adhesive because that packaging had some adhesive where the actual lens was too, just the slightest little bit. And I went to rub it off of there, and of course I got a bunch of, because I rubbed it off with a little piece of cloth. Thought it wasn't that linty, but man, oh man, there's a lot of lint on there. It's hard to see, but anywho, that's about the only thing that I find wrong with them. And there's probably a way I can clean that stuff off without making it look all weird. Well, I don't know why my camera's so out of focus. This phone sucks. But anywho, that's the first look at those, and I will eventually have some video of, like I said, what all this stuff is going on, and then probably a follow-up video on these as well as the optic that I'm running and a bunch of the other stuff that I have going on with this. So just to kind of get a follow-up video explaining how I feel about them after using them for a while. But that'll be much further down the road. But that's the first look at the Vortex Defender scope covers, flip cover, flip cap, whatever you want to call them, front lens cover, rear eyepiece cover, so on and so forth. Pretty cool. Are they worth the $20 instead of the $10 a piece for the Butler Creeks? Just the fact that they freaking close all the way is enough for me to justify it. I mean, like I said, those Butler Creek ones, you're paying $10 a piece for them, and you know, you click down and you think the lid clicks all the way shut, but then you let go of it and it pops up a little bit on one side. And it's like the other side seems like it's in there, but then you just kind of barely touch it and the thing flings open. It's like, oh, well, that's cool. That's not really what I want. I want something that's sealed pretty good to keep the elements out. So yeah, if it's raining or whatever, or you got snow and ice and all that crap to deal with, it's best to have something that's closed, sealed, but that's just me. So anywho, there you go.